Welcome to Agri Monitor, and here we're talking agriculture. In this week's episode, we're talking with Ruli Venter, the Executive Manager of the Namibia Agricultural Union, and we're focusing on foot and mouth disease, the threat that it poses to us as Namibia, how the public can help us to protect our FMD-free status, and also what the private sector can do to get involved. Enjoy the show and enjoy the interview.
In Namibia, where agriculture is the heartbeat of our nation, there is a trusted partner that stands with you every step of the way. A partner rooted in agriculture, cultivating bonds and understanding traditions. Trust in Agra for a prosperous future that values your family. For over 4 decades, Agra has been the trusted constant in farmers' lives, serving as a pillar in Namibia's agricultural landscape. With our enduring presence and countrywide footprint, Agra proudly serves the Namibian community. Our retail offering brings you a wide range of products and services at competitive prices. From farm supplies to household essentials, we have everything you need conveniently located under one roof. But it's not just about products, it's about people. Client engagement is at the heart of what we do. Together, we cultivate a better life, preserving traditions and empowering future generations. The Agra retail team proudly serves in our stride towards excellence, providing you with exceptional service and support. Agra, your partner in agriculture, committed to your success and dedicated to a prosperous future for farming and the nation.
Goeiedag en welkom by Agri Monitor. Hierso gesels ons landbou. Ek is Jacques de Tooy, and with me is Ruli Venter, the Executive Manager of the Namibia Agricultural Union, and today we are here to talk about foot and mouth disease, the threat that it poses to us in Namibia, what's going on in South Africa, and what the public and the private sector can do to help us in this battle. Ruli, welcome to the studio.
Thank you, Jacques.
Really, to start off, for those that don't know you, I don't know if you want to maybe introduce yourself a little bit, and then if you can just give us a bit of an overview about foot and mouth disease, what it is, what the current situation is, and where we're standing as Namibia, because we're the only foot and mouth disease free country in Africa at the moment, if I understand correctly.
So yes, thank you, Jacques. Yeah, so as you said, I'm working for the Namibia Agricultural Union. The NAU is almost 80 years old. It's an established organization. Our foundation is more than 60 farmers associations across the title deed areas. We have paid up members, which is paying every year an annual membership fee. This membership is growing, which we are very thankful for. Yeah, and we're focusing on all the issues affecting agriculture on behalf of our members. The NAU's vision is to help creating an enabling environment for a farmer on the land to be sustainable and profitable. So that's what we're here for, and that's what we stand for, and that's why we really affected by this whole FMD issue.
So of all the issues that the NAU is addressing, and there's a lot of issues, how high a priority would you say is foot and mouth disease?
So currently, foot and mouth disease is the single biggest risk facing agriculture. There is nothing more, nothing higher risk, nothing is higher will have a higher impact than an outbreak of FMD in Namibia. So just some background on the FMD and what's happening. As we all know, South Africa is grappling with a massive outbreak. It's only the Northern Cape province which haven't had FMD yet. All the other provinces in South Africa had positive cases, and where a positive case in Limpopo was there for 2 years ago, there's a recent outbreak again. So it is a massive disease in South Africa. Luckily, the politicians also now realize that this is a massive risk, and there's a national plan being decided upon amongst government in South Africa, which hopefully will bring more control and a bigger future. There's light in the tunnel, at least in South Africa.
I think it's safe to say foot and mouth disease poses a, not to use big English, but it's an existential threat for Namibia. If it happens to break out here, what
100%.
what would you say could be the possible, how can I say, uitval? What is the biggest risks if foot and mouth disease, if Namibia loses its foot and mouth disease status in the world?
So first of all, we all know that the livestock sector in Namibia is the pillar and the mainstay of the agricultural sector, and especially the rural economies. If you're looking at this rural economies, whether it's Grootfontein or Otjorongo or Gubabas or Aranos, or that whole rural economy is dependent on the livestock economy. So what is happening when FMD is breaking out in Namibia is that exports will immediately cease. All exports of livestock will immediately stop. Secondly, the whole agricultural low livestock value chain will stop business. And that starts with input suppliers, which is feed companies, that include banks, that include the normal agricultural retailers.
For abattoirs.
Then the next in the value chain is the primary producer, because the primary producer still have its livestock on the land, but there's no cash flow because that farmer cannot sell anything. No movement is taking place, no marketing is taking place. So immediately the farmer stops spending money because he need to keep his herd in place. So there will be no livestock auctions, no abattoir slaughtering. So the whole value chain ceases to exist on an immediate basis. What is different between South Africa and Namibia? Because South Africa have experienced this for the last 5 years already, and still the livestock economy is fairly on track in South Africa. Although there's a lot of challenges, the market haven't collapsed. But the fact is South Africa is consuming its own products. We as Namibia can only consume about 30% of what we produce. So we're absolutely reliant on exports. Whether it's into South Africa, whether it's to the EU, whether it's to Norway, that export is keeping us alive. So the moment FMD is breaking out, there's no exports taking place, and that is when the collapse of the economy is taking place.
How do you feel at the moment the Department of Veterinary Services? From what I can tell, it seems like they're working very hard at the borders. As someone who is fighting for the issues in agriculture, how do you feel the job is that they are doing at the moment in keeping foot and mouth disease out of Namibia?
So yeah, we're really thankful that the Directorate of Veterinary Services, as the competent authority, is very serious about this disease, and all possible measures which is possible to implement is being implemented at the point of entries, which is the biggest risk. Point of all entries, this is where the risk, the FMD is coming into Namibia. Together with the Directorate of Veterinary Services, the Livestock and Livestock Products Board, which is co-responsible for implementing actions on behalf of the Directorate of Veterinary Services, is doing a lot of things, a lot of action. So we're very thankful that that is taking place, that we can work together with and support DVS and the LLPB, and making sure that this virus is not spreading to Namibia, because that's the first thing we're fighting for. It must not spread to Namibia.
Yeah, the whole economy is depending on that one. I would say, from what I can tell, it sounds like the biggest threat that we have at the moment is for FMD to somehow cross the border from South Africa. Now, DVS is doing a lot. I'm sure the transport companies are also doing a lot, but the general public, us as normal people, especially now in the holiday season, moving around a lot, what role can the general public play in helping to not let FMD come into Namibia?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is that everybody is aware how it's being spread. So how is FMD spreading? First of all, it's spreading by the movement of livestock products, of meat and manure and all that. That's how it's being spread. Secondly, it's spread by people, because this disease, this virus can stick on your clothes, it can stick on your shoes, it can even survive 5 to 7 days in your airways. So if you was in contact with an FMD positive case and you're moving to Namibia and your shoes have been infected by manure, or the virus is sitting on your clothes, or it's even on areas you can bring this virus.
Yeah.
So the second thing, how it's been spreading is, as I've said, people, there's livestock, and then vehicles. Vehicles coming over the border, especially livestock trucks. We are exporting livestock to South Africa with trucks. That truck's returning is a high risk, and it's being handled as a high risk by the Directorate of Veterinary Services, and we need to understand that this is high risk, and we need to manage that risk, because we cannot stop trade. We need to have our economy running, because we're dependent on South Africa. We are dependent as an export market. We cannot stop it. So therefore, we need to find the balance between preventing the spread to Namibia while we can still export. We can really compare this to the COVID outbreak of 2020 in Namibia, and what the impact of COVID was on tourism sector. This is COVID for the livestock sector if the FMD is breaking out.
And with that, let's take a short commercial break. It's a dire situation if it does break out. I mean, the NAU, 60 farmers unions, how many farms is that? How many farm workers can lose their jobs if this breaks out in Namibia, if it becomes a very serious problem like that?
Yeah, so we know that agricultural sector is the biggest employer in Namibia. And the fact of the matter is that the employment will not stop on the farms, because the cattle and the sheep need to be cared for. Although you cannot market, but there will not be any cash available. And that is the dire situation. And in coming back to the role of the public, I think creating awareness amongst the public to ensure that everybody knows how this disease is spreading. Secondly, if you have visitors from South Africa during this festive season, please be aware that these visitors can potentially carry the virus without them even knowing it. So there need to be very strict biosecurity regulations on the farm. No patpos, no food, nothing can come over the border. It will be taken away. Please inform your friends. Please inform your family when they're visiting Namibia that this will happen on the borders.
By trying to sneak in food, you're basically putting the whole Namibian economy on the line.
100%.
It sounds like a small thing, but I mean, that is the fact of the matter. Really, do you have any, I wanted to ask you, besides the general public, the private sector, what role are they playing at the moment?
So the private sector, and that includes, as I've mentioned, the whole value chain. That includes the input suppliers, the banks, whether it's agribank or the commercial banks. That include the auctions, the auction agents. That include the abattoirs. They're very aware of the risk we're facing. So between the four farmers unions, the Namibia National Farmers Union, the PDNFU, NECFU, and the NFU, NAU, together with the private sector, we are establishing a FMD support fund, which will be launched in January next year, where we will seek funding from the private sector. And this funding will be earmarked to support Directorate of Veterinary Services, to strengthen its biosecurity measures at the borders, to support the Livestock and Livestock Products Board, that these measures can be implemented 100%, to ensure, secondly, we are implementing an FMD support office, which will be situated at the NAU, and again, that's a support office. It's support to support DVS. It is to support the LLPB, to make sure that we check what are we missing in terms of maybe a prevention measure which haven't been implemented. Secondly, are we prepared if such an outbreak is taking place? What is the impact and what's the action steps which is taking place? There is a contingency plan from the Directorate of Veterinary Services which is very detailed, but we need to evaluate that and discuss that and make people aware of the impact of that. And because the first thing what we need to do, we need to encourage, if such an outbreak is taking place, we need to encourage farmers to report such a case. Because the moment it's not being reported, this is spreading throughout Namibia with disastrous effects.
How fast, and I know you're not a veterinarian, but how fast can the virus spread in Namibia if it's found here? Maybe it gets in, no, let me not say where, but let's say it's on a farmer, he doesn't report anything, it's maybe 3 weeks already, that cattle is moving away. How fast does FMD spread? I don't even know.
So FMD, first of all, according to the veterinarians in South Africa, which is now busy with this in the feedlots in South Africa, their experience is that the virus type in Southern Africa, only 10% of the cattle which is positive FMD is showing clinical signs. So 90% of cattle don't show this. So if I unknowingly have positive case on my farm and I'm transporting that to the auction, this virus is spreading throughout Namibia. And remember, Namibia is not inoculating against this. We cannot inoculate because then we will lose international markets.
Yeah, you cannot.
So there's no resistance among our cattle herd against FMD. So it will be a massive spread. Immediately, if it lands on the auction, it's going to the next farm, it connects with other cattle on the auction.
It's at the auction, yeah.
And that is where these, why it's so important that farmers need to report such a case if it's happening, and that farmer need to be the hero in reporting such a case and not being the culprit.
Be the hero, don't be the culprit.
Yeah.
Be the brave one. Really, do you have any last things you wanted to say about FMD? And then I'm going to ask you I have something else. Say any of his sports city. Do you have any last thoughts on FMD that you wanted to say to the public?
Yeah, I think it's very important that we as public are all aware and making ourselves aware and inform ourselves of how FMD is spreading. And that we know that this is a serious disease that can create economic collapse, not amongst only the agricultural sector. This will spread throughout Namibia, and we as Namibia must work together to make sure that this disease is not spreading to Namibia.
Good message. Thank you, really. Now we have about 5 minutes left on the clock. As the executive manager of the NAU, while I have you here, I wanted to ask 2026. Thoughts on 2026 going forward? How does the year look for you?
So yes, as you know, the agricultural sector is heavily dependent on rain.
Yes.
We had experiencing an early good season, and there's various weather forecasts, but that will depend. The rain will depend what's happening next year.
Yeah.
So we're very positive, and we believe that we will receive some rain. We believe there's a uptick in the prices experienced in the livestock prices. So we're very positive about that can happen in 2026. We have during 2025 with the new government, there's a new spirit of working together.
Yes.
In Namibia.
I can feel this, yeah.
We are very positive about the involvement of the whole agricultural value chain in making decisions. We have a very aspirational national development plan, which aims that the agricultural sector is doubling in its output. Now that's a massive task, but it's a very positive challenge which we all can work together for to create this enabling environment where a farmer can invest in his land, where he can increase production and output and create employment opportunities for the economy as a whole. So we're very positive about that. Collaboration between the government and the NAU is at a very good stage. We are working very closely with the, as four farmers unions together, addressing issues together, which we are of mutual concern. And so of course, there's a lot of challenges still, and that's why we are here. We are here to tackle that challenges, together as four farmers unions, but also together with government and seeking solutions to improve the sector.
It is very noteworthy, especially this year, well, 2025, the four unions are working together. This is not something you have to comment on, but I mean, the Minister of Land Reform, Inga, she said like the land reform must be so peaceful, you must be a beacon of peaceful land reform in the whole country. Except I think the only thing that can hold us back is if there's not enough rain. Is ek maar die enigste ding wat daar so is. But so we've done the foot and mouth disease. Enough English. Ek dink kom ons gaan so 'n bietjie oor na Afrikaans toe. Ek het gewonder in Afrikaans of jy nie dalk ook 'n Kersfees boodskap het vir die mense nie, net om hulle miskien veilig te wens en verantwoordelikheid te wees en iets op die plaas of so, as jy dalk 'n Kersfees boodskap het vir mense.
In Afrikaans.
In Afrikaans, ja. In Afrikaans, ja.
So ja, ek wil graag vir almal in die landbousektor ongelooflik bedank vir hierdie jaar se ondersteuning. Die Landbouunie kan dit nie doen sonder sy individuele lede nie. So baie dankie aan die individuele lede van die Landbouunie wat ons ondersteun. Baie dankie aan al die rolspelers waarmee ons saam kan werk sodat ons die landbou na 'n beter plek toe kan vat. Ek wens vir elkeen 'n wonderlike rustyd toe saam met julle gesinne. Mag julle veilig wees, mag julle geseënd wees en mag ons geseënd wees met reën in 2026.
Daar sê hy baie dankie Rulie Venter dat jy vandag by ons aangesluit het en hierdie waardevolle inligting gegee. Van my kant af ook, hier is ons Kersboodskap vir die jaar. Dit is nou back and close weer, maar ek dink ons moet ernstig daaroor praat. Vir almal julle geseënde Kersfees, voorspoed, geniet die vakansie, wees veilig en ons sien julle weer volgende jaar. What a nice interview with Rulie, extremely informative. He draws a very dire picture of what can happen to Namibia, what can happen to our economy if foot and mouth disease breaks out here uncontrollably and takes away our FMD-free status. Let's all do our part. Let's play our role in making sure that this disease does not spread into our country, because so much is on the line. All the jobs, all the money, all the export markets are there. And with that, I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.